David.
Oh, what up, dude?
Sup, bro? How's work today?
Terrible. You know why?
What is that?
I have to tell you Nick something, bro. And it's not good news
Really?
about work. About work.
Oh, okay.
It's like I kind of like killed my whole mood for the whole day, to be honest.
Really? So,
Yeah,
like,
and when I tell you, it will kill your mood too.
it was,
It's a
right,
it's a big change in our work.
right before the, right before the book club.
It's gonna be a big change in work. It's I don't know, kill my mood for the entire day at least.
This is what I keep telling you, is that all this shit keeps happening when I'm,
It keeps getting
when
worse.
I'm not there.
Well, shit just keeps getting worse, bro. Oh my god. Like I'm so ready to leave at this point.
I just have to stop not being there. Alright,
Oh,
Nick's here.
now that you guys are here, there's gonna be a change at work that is fucking terrible.
What?
Let's say you guys want to hear it.
Yeah,
It hasn't been announced yet, but I overheard them talking about it.
I'm ready.
Oh boy.
I was telling Kai, this killed my entire mood for the day. Honestly, maybe for the week.
Let's
Oh
hear it.
no.
We are gonna be doing full time.
What does that mean?
Huh?
What does that mean?
Is moving into the fucking, and we are going to be responsible for now.
Huh?
I
What do you
I
mean?
wanted that made me want to fucking quit, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
What
What do you mean?
what is
What do you
even
mean?
gonna do then?
That's what I'm fucking saying.
Wait, what's
That's what I'm
happening?
fucking saying.
Wait, dude,
Bro,
my hand is bandaged right now. I can't take
Really?
this much bad news. Yeah, dude.
Dude, this actually is gonna kill my mood for the rest of the year because
My hand.
they're
Yeah.
gonna try to start moving shit on November 1st,
Dude,
and they're
no
probably gonna get
way.
started soon after that.
No
It's like,
way.
no, dude.
What do
Now
you
we gotta
mean?
be
What do you mean?
responsible for fucking.
I'll
Like
tell you
every
what.
day, what is
Yeah,
doing
it's
to
going
do
to be
that?
us. It's going to be us now.
Whose bright idea was that?
Dude, we gotta do that.
I
Like
don't
a
fucking know,
rotating
man. I
shift,
don't know.
bro.
This
Depressing, bro.
this
Ugh.
shit like I don't know. I've been like upset the whole fucking day, bro.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
If we're doing for the samples, then better be the one doing full time. I mean, she
I know
already
she's still
is,
gonna be
but
doing
like,
that, but I guarantee you, if something comes up, she's gonna fucking ask us again. But dude, oh my god,
it's
that's
like,
just
what
you know
is
what that
it?
means. It just means like infinite more work for
Like
us,
what?
bro.
Yeah, it's like as if we didn't have enough. It's like
Now we have to do
we're doing.
full time,
Dude,
dude.
you know the
it's
sad
like-
thing is,
We're getting
Part of
paid
me
for
is
like-
getting more.
part of me is like, at least I'm gonna forget less about. when
No,
I have
you're
to
not.
do it once a month. Like, dude.
Dude,
Oh my
that's not
god.
worth the trade off. We're doing like 2 jobs for
I
one.
know,
man.
I know, I know.
Can't
For the
even-
same pay.
You can't even fit all the stuff into the.
No, they're gonna try. They were
Wait,
fucking talking
oh
about
my
it.
god, that's what you mean the fucking closet?
Yup.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Oh
That's
my
it.
god,
This is fucking awful, dude.
dude, there's
Dude.
no way.
Dude, it's gonna be in there. Oh my god, it's going to be so
Bro,
bad.
It's
we're gonna
gonna-
look in there and just see the person sadly like
Dude. But I don't know. The people's fucking moods are so down today, man.
Oh
Because of
no.
that.
I'll be in there tomorrow.
We're gonna have shit to say when they finally announce that.
Well, they haven't announced it yet, so I wouldn't say anything yet. It just
Yeah, like
I
when
guess
they
we still
announce
don't know
that.
the deets, the in and out details. But like the one in and out detail I do know is the fact that we're gonna be doing it full time, so every day.
That fucking
Uh,
sucks, dude.
The one good thing is we don't know how much we're gonna do. It might not be that much.
What do
Man,
you
I-
mean? Every single sample.
Every single sample.
What
Man,
they think, what they're trying to do is like a bench rotation. Like one person is going to be on every day for the week, which is going to be terrible. I think they're going to try and do a whole week, but the downside is, we're instead of having the whole, we have that shitty ass little room.
So you can't even call roll or the anymore because she's not doing it.
Apparently, she's going to do like shit, but like I don't
Yeah,
even
it's
know,
all-
dude. I feel like she's already sitting around half the time anyway. Like I'm telling you, mate, it does not take that much time. It's just a ploy for us to do more fucking shit, dude. I don't know. We all need to fucking say that we're against this shit. I already told, like, I'm against this shit.
Really?
I told, I'm against this shit. Yes.
Well, here's the thing too, yeah. If like the thing is, if wants it, then it's gonna happen. Yeah, because it's
like,
kind of a pushover like that.
God damn, dude. Another reason to put our low as fuck.
Oh yeah, I might put my. I might actually respond now. Yeah.
Even if you've done it, you can still change your. We have until Wednesday. Wednesday's the last day, but still, like, dude, this is.
Oh, that's terrible.
I just want to like not go in tomorrow, bro. Like that shit pissed me off.
Nick, I saw you playing Hearthstone earlier, and I'm just trying to not be too disappointed.
Well, I only play Battlegrounds. I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse. I have like 300 packs. I have.
Bro, how'd your dog get in your hand, dude?
We were playing in the morning, man. Oh my god, my hand Kai right now looks like
Poe bit you.
No, we were playing, and like as I like jerked my hand to throw a toy, and he like I thought he would go like be ready to go get it, but he was jumping for the toy at the same moment, and I like jammed my hand in his mouth, and his tooth is so fucking sharp. It like it went like an inch into my hand. I had a pretty nasty.
Shit.
My thumb's not working right now.
Oh,
that's why
Jesus.
Let's say, bro, that's just
that's why you weren't at work today?
Dude. Yeah, dude. I'm gonna go. I literally can't use my left hand though. Like I can't grab.
That's because you're right. I feel like you can just.
Jesus Christ.
I think I'm slower. That's what I think I'm gonna try. Yeah. But yeah.
Jesus. Fun. Hi, Luke.
What's up, Luke?
Hello.
How's it going?
I don't know how long you're gonna work.
Eating dinner? Nice. What are you eating?
Yep. I'm eating baked salmon and edamame.
Oh yeah, bro. Nice. I love edamame, dude.
Yeah, edamame is really good. So, welcome back to the Expanded Bookverse, the book club that's more than just books. We have a little icebreaker for today. It's spooky season. We're coming up on Halloween in 4 days. So, let me ask you guys, what is your guys' favorite horror anything? Do you have a favorite? Are you guys horror fans? Not big horror fans?
Like movies, TV shows, or just anything horror?
Like anything. Favorite horror anything?
I guess movie. I like the OG Halloween.
Oh yeah? Michael Myers?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. That's
probably my benchmark for like a horror movie.
Oh really? I have to rewatch that one. It's been years. But as far as slasher,
not personally that big.
Go ahead.
Because like you had a cool music.
Mm-hmm.
You had the impact of it, like kind of created the blueprint for like the modern slasher film.
Yes.
So
I'm personally not that big a fan of horror.
Same.
I could see that. Luke, do you read any Junji Ito?
No.
No? Okay. Do you know who
What is Junji Ito?
Oh, Junji Ito is probably the highest regarded horror mangaka.
He the Uzumaki guy?
Yeah, he's the guy who wrote Uzumaki.
To be fair, I also do not look at the authors of any of the manga or manhwa that I read.
Yeah, I don't do that as much either, but Junji Ito is probably one of the few that's more well-known.
There was one thing I liked that I found tantalizing. But it still made me uncomfortable. And it may have been by Junji Ito, because it was that style, but I'm not sure. And it was like people found these holes that were like the shape of a body.
Yeah, so that's him? Yeah, that's him. That is a short story called hang on, something Amigara Fault.
I just liked that one because it was so like it wasn't horror in the way like I don't like jump scares, but I really like that like insidious draw of the unknown, like these people that can't help their curiosity, or they're like this like weird pull that they have that draws them to these like spooky zones. I don't know, that was fascinating. That was, I like that.
So it's called The Enigma of Amigara Fault. It's a short story written by Junji Ito that appears at the end of I think 2 of his books, and it's about like earthquake happens and it causes all these holes to show up on this cliffside that
revealed. Like,
yeah,
they were
it shows
there.
they're like exactly shaped like people's bodies, and they think that it when they find their specific hole that it was made for them, and so they start.
People like feel compelled to go there.
Yeah, they start walking through them.
Exactly, and then when they find like a certain hole, they're like, "This is mine." It's just so creepy. It's so creepy, bro.
This is my hole. It was made for me.
Yes,
like that is the meme that has come out of it.
I feel like this is one of those things where like I'm not like I feel like a lot of the times like psychological thriller kind of blurs the line with horror. So I don't actually have a clear definition of like what horror is concerned or what horror actually is.
Yeah, it's like a blanket term at this point, right? Like it encompasses a wide variety of specific genres.
Have you guys heard of like the manga Monster?
I know there's a comic called Monster. I've never heard of a manga called Monster.
No.
It's a psychological thriller mystery where basically the main character is a doctor. He decides to save a kid over a politician. Things seems good, except the kid that he saves ends up being a psychopath who just like psychologically manipulates people, and then
oh god,
honestly, it's like one of the most like horrific kind of haunting things because because this doctor is basically unleashed like this monster onto the world.
Oh god, he could have all been avoided, and it was all his choice too. Like
it was his choice. But like it's. Like, I could see it being called horror, but, like, I don't see the tag of horror on this thing. It's just crime, mystery, and psychological thriller.
Yeah. A lot of those have, like, horror elements, but, like, aren't under the umbrella of horror itself, because like you said, it's more of a crime mystery, it sounds like.
Interesting how those lines get drawn, because, like, I really don't like gore or, like, jump scares. Like
jump scares are so cheap.
I don't like that kind of stuff, but I really do like psychological thrillers and like that long time span of like tension building. I like that a lot. So
my favorite horror anything is probably the original Godzilla from 1954, which I checked it. It does count as horror.
Really?
Yeah. Just that one, though, because after that you get into the kaiju battles and it becomes more action sci-fi. But the original, as an analog for the bombings of Japan, do count. They are horrific from especially a Japanese perspective. Oh, Luke, something I forgot to bring up before we started. Have you been watching One Piece season, or not One Piece, One Punch Man season 3?
Bro,
I have not.
I'm holding on hope.
It's on my to-do list.
Awful animation, bro. Awful.
Did it finish airing, or is it airing right now?
It has like
airing.
4 episodes out at this point.
Yeah, I might just hold off until after the season ends.
Yeah, like I don't know if you've seen any of the animation, but it's like PNG slides.
Terrible.
Or at least in the one case that's been going around the internet.
It's a slide.
Because what's his name? The hero killer or something slides down a hill of grass, and it just looks like Garo slides down a hill of grass, and it just looks like a single image without any like texture around his feet moving the grass or anything.
He did have texture. He had his very small smoke line.
Oh, really?
Behind his feet. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Wait, is the animation? Wait,
it's
I missed some of this. Is the animation pretty bad?
Yeah.
Basically,
that's unfortunate.
It is
the
kind of.
The studio that has it has only had it. Basically, it's just been like hot potatoed between studios for the last 10 years, and this studio has had 6 months to put it together. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't understand why things are being animated these days to look more and more like they're just PNG slides, because Uzumaki kind of had that issue, like at the very end of the story, when the main character's boyfriend gets like knocked down a well or something, and it just looks like a single image that's shrinking, and it's like, why is this the standard now? It's like animation used to look so beautiful.
I think
that's pretty sad.
There's more studios and people are trying to get jobs done with less and less money. So it's like...
That's true.
You mean how like literally every company is right now?
Yeah.
Oh my... that just reminded me of work!
I did see the I did see the Chainsaw Man movie this past weekend, though. That was really good.
I've actually seen it on Friday, Kai.
Yeah.
Because like Studio Bones popping off, UFO table popping off, UFO table, whatever.
Oh, UFO table?
I don't know.
It's something like that. But that movie was very good, and that's my favorite arc of the entire manga that I've read so far.
I think there are a lot of studios that are still really good, but unfortunately, if you have 6 months to throw something together, it can't be that good, you know.
All right, so let's get into the story then, this batch of chapters. Before we start, though, I'd like to clarify something that was brought to my attention. So, at our last meeting, we briefly discussed whether Tokyo Ghoul was originally a shonen, and I couldn't remember the name of the magazine that it was originally serialized in, but the small blurb about the author at the beginning of each book says that it was published in the magazine called Weekly Young Jump, which, as it turns out, is a seinen magazine. I guess I saw the word young and thought, oh, young, shonen. So it was originally meant to be a seinen. Now,
that makes sense.
Yeah. With that in mind, though, I was like, why is it on the Shonen Jump app then? Because...
Shonen Jump has all kinds of shit now.
Yeah, because it's apparently just the digital platform that Viz puts all their manga on, regardless if it's actually shonen or not. I'd speculate it's because the Shonen Jump name is the most well-known magazine amongst manga readers and anime watchers, but it's still kind of misleading. I actually got into some conversations with people about this, and it made me realize that the way we're meant to view shonen versus seinen is pretty different from how we're hardwired to over here in the US. So, like, the way we're brought up is to view it similar to, like, movie ratings, where it's, like, PG versus R ratings, where it's a label that's meant to denote what age range the movie is considered appropriate for. But in actuality, when it comes to the shonen versus seinen determination, it's meant to actually denote what the publisher's target demographic is, and not who they deem it to be appropriate for necessarily. And while those two very often have overlap, it does sometimes lend itself to have outliers, like Attack on Titan, for example. Hi, Izzy.
Hello.
Yo, what's up?
Here, let me finish my thought real quick. Attack on Titan, for example. So by all accounts, if you look at its subject matter and content, you would label it as a seinen. Like, it's very brutal, there's lots of gore, there's a ton of deaths. But in actuality, it was originally published in the magazine Bisatsu Shonen Magazine, therefore making it a shonen, which is it seems weird, right? I just think it's very interesting to have a shift in your brain like that, and have you look at it in a different way than we're used to. Izzy, now that you're here, first of all, how was the interview?
Oh, it was okay. It was like a talent agency, and they were like, "Hey, so this job's not open anymore, but we have another one we think you'd be a good fit for." So okay. I guess it went well.
Cool.
Like
cool.
A recruiter.
Yeah.
Nice.
Done those before.
And then second question, Izzy, I feel like I know the answer to this. Since it's spooky season, we're talking about what our favorite horror anything is.
Scream.
I knew it. I called it. So
I mean, like, yeah, there's movies in the franchise, but like,
yeah,
it's still a solid franchise for me.
Yeah. I was telling people about this earlier this week because call me a fake horror fan, but I just watched Scream like for the first time like a week ago. And the thing is, I've seen Scary Movie like maybe a dozen times, and it completely ruined Scream for me because I just keep thinking of the scenes from Scary Movie and what they would say in those scenes.
No, like definitely this year, Andrew and I have watched a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
We just watched Terrifier and no.
Just the first one?
Yeah.
So I've heard the first one's pretty bad, but I've heard the other two are really
Terrifier
good.
3 is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you just have to keep going.
But there's definitely like you have to be a very specific kind of horror lover.
Well, it's like it's nasty, but like
yeah.
I've seen Saw and I'm like okay with that nasty, but like this nasty is not okay with me.
Oh, okay. Because doesn't is it the third one? Doesn't she like masturbate with a piece of broken glass or something?
In Saw?
No, in like Terrifier
What
3. Yeah.
What?
I think
Yeah,
that
is.
Yeah,
That's true.
that happens
It's,
in either
Vicky, right? Vicky?
Yes, it happens in either
She
2 or
stabs
3. I'm
herself in
pretty
the
sure.
Oh
vagina.
my god.
It's
No,
like
that shit was
Jesus
crazy, bro.
Christ.
Dude,
Yeah, I remember that scene from Terrifier 3. It was crazy.
It's like Jesus
like
Christ.
we were watching the first one where like the girl's getting split in half, and I was like, no.
Oh yeah. It takes it to like extremes.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Even though we're looking at the manga and not the anime of Tokyo Ghoul, I feel like it's important to talk about probably the best part of the anime, which is David and Nick. Care to take a guess?
The fight animations.
Nick, care to take a guess?
The best part of the anime?
Yeah. Anime specifically.
I watched it a while ago. I don't even remember, honestly.
Yeah, I don't remember. Dude, just seeing color.
Seeing color because it's in black and
That
white.
might be it.
Dude,
No,
I'm serious. Some of the contrast is sick. Like,
Hearing
not
voices.
See it.
I
Like,
will.
when he escapes the asylum, or not the asylum, but the Aogiri hideout.
Yeah.
That looks sick in the anime. I like that.
Yeah.
Like, with the moonlight, that looks sick.
So I will say the way that Kaneki's Kagune looks in the anime is really good. Like the way it glows red like that.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I was referring to Unravel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. So the opening song for Tokyo Ghoul, Unravel, is probably definitively among some of the most iconic, recognizable anime openings of all time, along with the Pokemon opening, Cruel Angel's Thesis from Evangelion, We Are from One Piece, Fighting Dreamers from Naruto, Chala Head Chala from DBZ, Attack on Titan opening 1, the Hunter x Hunter opening, Crossing Field from SAO, and perhaps slightly more arguably, but I think deserves a mention, Colors from Code Geass.
Excuse me, you forgot Sailor Moon.
I'm actually not familiar with that opening because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, come on.
Sailor Moon opening is so iconic.
Literally.
I will include that too then.
Thank you.
Bro just wanted to list what he wanted.
Basically. Hey, I said Fighting Dreamers and not Silhouette. Cut me some slack here.
I'll give
you that.
Even though I do like Silhouette more, I agree that Fighting Dreamers is more iconic.
Fighting
You know what I
Dreamers
also
is
think?
So iconic.
I think another iconic opening is One Punch. Whatever the One Punch opening is.
Oh, the heavy metal one? Dude, that was sick, bro.
Luke sang that at karaoke.
Like, that is so distinct and recognizable. No, definitely not karaoke material.
Well, you sang it at karaoke a few years ago and you crushed it.
One Punch?
Yeah. Don't you remember that?
I remember singing Evangelion.
I don't remember
like,
you.
Cruel Angel Thesis.
I did not hear you.
I don't remember singing One Punch.
I do not remember you singing Cruel Angel's Thesis. It's like, what?
Wait, you guys know how like people remember like the Berenstein Bears and the Berenstein Bears?
Oh,
yeah,
we're gonna get to Mandela effect this.
Yeah, you two are both from different realities that got merged together.
I see, of course.
Anyway, those of you who have never heard Unravel, I highly recommend that you give it a listen. It is fantastic.
Bro, I try to learn that shit on piano, bro. It's so hard.
It is very difficult. Alright, so let's start off with the actual content, and we start off with the Rize side story. I'm going to go through, like as before, I'm going to go through the plot summaries that I've written, and if you guys have anything to say, just interject. So the Rize side story. Rize lives in the 11th ward. She is part of a committee that oversees the safety of ghouls in the ward by implementing a set of rules that ensures that little enough activity happens in order to prevent suspicion from investigators. Feeling very bored and restricted by these rules, and for being chastised for breaking them, she decides to leave the 11th ward and moves on to the 20th, having heard stories about a cafe there run by a ghoul who's fond of humans. Good timing, too, as her high level of hunting activity has resulted in an investigation of the 11th ward by the CCG. Her associate, Banjo Kazuichi, which, by the way, 100% has to be a Banjo-Kazooie reference, takes over operations in the 11th ward. Now in the 20th ward, Rize locks eyes with Kaneki for the first time as she gets the feeling that it'll be fun in her new home. So, does this story introduce anything new about Rize that we didn't know about before?
I guess we'll learn more about the backstory. Like, she values her freedom.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't really know that.
She definitely does. She wants to do whatever she wants.
She's just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And we didn't know her place in the power totem kinda.
Exactly.
She was kind of a bigwig in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But her her name that the CCG designated her is the Binge Eater, so that's kind of speaks to her free spirit and how she pretty much wants to do anything she wants and eat as much as she wants. I think we can really see here how much more skilled she is in shifting her personality. She can go from her cutesy innocent side straight into her menacing glowing eyes side in a matter of an instant. Did you guys catch that?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know why, but for some reason, it kind of makes me happy that she genuinely likes reading, and that much wasn't just an act to lure Kaneki in. I don't know why that makes me happy. It just does.
But it was, though.
Yeah.
It still was.
Well,
she still wanted to eat him.
She used it, but she does genuinely like reading.
Okay.
But that's the most real thing we have learned about her. It's just she's such a... We don't even know her real name yet.
Yeah, it's true. So what's the implication of having Mr. Yoshimura give Rize a talking to about encroaching on other ghouls' territory, just like the leader of Ward 11 did before? And how does the story divert from this implication? I think that the use of repetition here gives the reader the impression that things might not be as different for her in the 20th ward from how they were in the 11th ward. The diversion is that she thinks she might actually be able to have fun in the 20th ward, but Mr. Yoshimura, while being more gentle than the leaders in the 11th ward, he's still we have rules here, and you're best to follow them.
That gives us a little insight into him too.
Yeah. It's
really find out.
He's a rule follower. Oh, we learn a lot about Mr. Yoshimura in this batch of chapters, don't we?
Yeah.
Mr. One-Eyed Owl.
He's cool.
Yeah.
I like him.
Alright, so from then on, that sets the stage for the next arc, which is a big one. This is the big arc that I was talking about before. The Aogiri Tree / 11th Ward battle arc. So Amon reviews, or more obsesses over, the evidence the CCG has that may lead to the identity of the rabbit, who we know is Toka, after the death of Mado, which he blames himself for. Meanwhile, Kaneki tells Itori the events that went down in the previous arc and his experience at the ghoul restaurant. Itori reveals to Kaneki that finding out who Rize is will lead to the truth about the steel beams accident. She also reveals that the name Rize Kamishiro is completely made up. So, what Itori reveals to Kaneki and to the audience about Rize, what's the significance of having this revealed in the chapter directly after the Rize side story, do you think?
I would say it signifies there's a lot of things about Rize that we still don't really know about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, we were shown this somewhat biggish chunk of her life, and regardless, there's still mystery surrounding her. So it's like an whets our appetite or something.
I think it also kind of like nods that if Kaneki wants to find out more about himself, it's probably going to be figuring out more about Rize.
Yeah.
And like, yeah.
And that's why he goes on that whole expedition after the battle, right?
Yeah.
On his own, with the exception of Banjo and, unfortunately, Tsukiyama. Itori's quote here, "Truth that's hidden, no matter what the circumstances, is often cruel." Is she right about this?
I can see why that can be right, but sometimes you gotta tell some white lies, I think.
Yeah.
Like, there's some truth to it.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's a truth that's buried deep down, it was probably buried deep down for a reason.
Right.
So you're gonna have to go through hell and back to figure out what that truth is. Kaneki leaves Itori's place and gets pickpocketed by an odd young fellow with very long hair, who we will soon learn is named Juzo Suzuya. Kaneki recounts this to Hide at Onteku, and we learn that Nishiki is now working there and learning to live peacefully. So at this point in the story, have we forgiven Nishiki for what he did?
I do, yeah. I do. I feel like even I forgave him at the end of the last section we read.
Yeah. Like when he leaves to go help save Kaneki.
Yeah, fair. I get that.
Is Nishiki the guy who almost ate his main character's best friend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna say no.
You're gonna say
I just don't trust him quite yet.
Even after, like, at this point, or even after the battle?
Like, after the battle. Like, I'm still a little, like,
you're like wary
on him.
You're like wary
I
what
need, like,
he's
a reason
up
to trust him. Like, he definitely has alternative motives in my mind.
Oh, okay, interesting. So Nishiki asks Kaneki... Go ahead.
Wait, Nishiki has alternative motives? Why do you feel like that?
Is that the gourmet?
No. That's... that's the guy...
No, that's the guy near the beginning who almost ate Kaneki's best friend. Like, they were walking together. He was roommates with Kaneki's best friend.
Okay, yeah, no. I'm fine with that guy now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Since you're talking about...
One with the human girlfriend. That's the easiest way, I feel like.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Wait, he has a girlfriend?
Yeah, it's a human girlfriend, too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no.
He
has the girlfriend. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with him now, especially after, like, the girlfriend thing.
You know, if we're talking about Tsukiyama, like... No way do we ever trust him.
He's a big creep.
He's a big creep. There's like
he's weird.
He tries to put on a face. He's like, everyone knows you're full of shit, dude.
Yeah, I like how you said earlier. Unfortunately, Tsukiyama accompanied him.
Yeah,
like, that's not right. He is a creep.
So Nishiki asks Kaneki what his thoughts on ghouls and humans are. Quote by Kaneki here. Ghouls treating humans simply as prey, like Tsukiyama, or humans stereotyping ghouls as cruel, vicious monsters, I don't think either is right. And I like how simply and elegantly he's able to say what he and the audience so far understands about the world, that there's bad on both sides. We cut to Juzo brutally dismembering a group of ghouls that attempted to eat him and taking great pride in it. He's the same age as Kaneki, by the way. So Ishida often uses a more, childlike font sometimes if a character is joking around. Like, we've seen this quite a lot in Hide's speech bubbles, but with Juzo, he uses this font all the time. I think that's to portray his constant childish demeanor despite being the same age as Kaneki. And he does fit the class of the child prodigy trope, much like L kind of does.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any particular thoughts on this?
No, I agree. It's just he also has like weird things going on with him that gives like science experiment, like raised in a lab vibes, like because he's so socially awkward, and like so in his own world. It's like, yeah.
This is the character who was like embroidering himself, right?
Yeah, he was putting stitches into himself. That was weird.
I love art hobbies, but that's taking it too far.
So we're then introduced to quite a few new characters. Like, there's a lot of characters that's introduced in this section. So there's Shinohara, who used to be Amon's instructor at the academy, his assistant special investigator Hoji, and rank 2 investigator Takizawa, who was the second highest in his class at the academy. The gist of their little meeting is basically that investigators are spread kind of thin because they have to keep being sent from the main office to several other wards. The 20th ward has been designated hazardous because while the amount of total killings in the ward is low, it has a bunch of high-profile ghouls at this point, like the gourmet, the binge eater, and now the rabbit. Shinohara and Amon leave to retrieve Juzo from CCG security because he lost his badge. After this matter is settled, Juzo violates the security guard's ear with his tongue and, I think, sucks out his ear bone, but it isn't entirely clear what he's actually doing here. And then he officially introduces himself to Amon, so, first impressions are everything.
He's maybe too good of a listener. This guy's crazy.
So I don't know if this shows in the digital versions, but this takes place in Volume 6, and that's when they finally decide that there are enough characters to have a dedicated character page. Which makes...
Just now?
Yeah, just now. So it took them a while, but they got there. Amon tries to straighten Juzo out because he be stingy like that, and Toka wonders if it would be possible for her to be accepted by Yoriko the same way that Kimi accepts Nishiki. Meanwhile, we get our proper introduction to Banjo, who has arrived in the 20th ward in search of Rize. He finds Anteku and becomes hostile toward Kaneki because he smells like Rize and gets jelly when he thinks they're romantically involved. Kaneki quickly knocks Banjo out, and his friends explain the situation. After Rize left the 11th ward, ghouls from elsewhere came in and took it over, whom we now know to be the ghoul group known as Aogiri Tree, who ordered Banjo to search for Rize. Banjo's main contact from Aogiri in this operation is Ayato Kirishima, Toka's younger brother, but the organization as a whole is led by a fella known as the One-Eyed King. Banjo comes too, and Kaneki explains that Rize isn't around anymore, specifically avoiding to mention that she's dead. Thinking she just moved on to another ward, Banjo explains to Kaneki everything that happened in the 11th ward, and that everyone at Anteku should run before Aogiri reaches them in their search for Rize. Suddenly, Ayato comes crashing through the window and knocks Banjo across the room. Hearing the commotion, Toka rushes upstairs, where she comes face to face with her brother after who knows how long. And behind Toka arrives 2 other ghouls from Aogiri Tree, Yamori and Nico. Trying as he might to defend himself, Kaneki ends up getting kidnapped by Yamori since he smells like Rize. Mr. Yoshimura and Yomo return to find that the upper level of Anteku is a wreck and declares that the cafe will be closed for a while. So I don't know if you guys noticed the way that Yamori cracks his fingers and how Kaneki will also get into the habit of cracking them the same way later on. After watching the anime for the first time like 9 years ago, I also started cracking my fingers that way. And yeah, it's pretty badass in real life, not gonna lie. What's everyone's first impression of Ayato here?
He's cracked. like way stronger than fucking Toka, bro. Like, it's not even funny.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I didn't think the skill diff would be that crazy.
Because he doesn't have as much regard for life as Toka does, right?
Yeah.
Or really like any life. He rejected the teachings of Mr. Yoshimura. Izzy, do you have an opinion on Ayato?
I'm excited to see what happens later, like if he'll change.
Yeah.
Or like,
because like
that's really what I'm kind of curious about. Because I feel like for me, like this part was kind of fast, and I was like, okay, he's here, and then he was just gone, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I understand because he got his ass absolutely whooped, but
he's like in and out, easy peasy.
Yeah, I want to know what happened after that. Where'd he go?
Yeah.
Bro, who's the wide-eyed guy, bro? He be looking like Sid the Sloth, bro, from Ice
Dude, you mean Yamori? You mean the Yamori, bro?
Yamori, yeah.
Yeah, tell me he does not look like Sid from Ice Age, bro.
Yeah, his eyes, he has the eyes of a hammerhead shark. You know, they're like perched as wide as possible.
Yeah. And then the gay guy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he comes around. He's only there. We learn later that he's only there for Yamari.
Oh my god!
It's like as soon as all the events of the battle is over, he's like, "Yeah, I'll help you out, Kaneki." He's pretty cool when he wants to be. So, chapter 53 is titled Lecture, which is very fitting because the entire chapter is basically one big info dump about the types of Kagune, how each is different, and where they come from. Basically, a Kagune is a muscle that has the ability to be either fluid or hella solid, based on the ghoul's will. Ghouls obtain RC cells from the human meat they eat, which are sent to the Kakuho, which is a sac that produces the Kagune. The Kagune breaks through the skin as the RC cells are discharged and can then be hardened and softened at the user's will. So if a Kagune comes from the Kakuho inside the ghoul and has to break through the skin every time it's unleashed, does that create some kind of wound on the ghoul? And do you think it hurts every time? Because it kind of reminds me of Wolverine, where he has like the regenerative abilities and no mortality and all that, but every time he uses his claws, it's essentially like creating a fresh wound to be able to come out of his hands like that all the time. Know what I'm saying? Like, do you think it hurts every time a ghoul uses his Kagune initially?
Probably, right?
I would say yeah.
I would think so. It kind of depends how close to the surface of the skin the Kakuho is, right?
I would say probably it hurt probably for like newer ghouls, but like more experienced ones, when they get used to it, it probably doesn't feel like much.
It probably just feels like maybe a little pinch at some point.
And plus, like, they come out in like stressful situations, right? So maybe adrenaline dump. Mm-hmm. They won't feel anything. I don't know.
That'd be the case.
I mean, it might also just not hurt, just because ghouls probably have a different pain tolerance than humans, and so true. What might hurt for a human might not hurt for a ghoul.
That is true. Because later on, especially, we see the fight between Kaneki and Ayato's like shooting crystal spears into Kaneki's arms and stuff, and he's like just like shrugging it off like a true anime pro tag.
I mean, if we want to make a parallel to like humans, right? When we grow fingernails, like that's not painful as if it's like ripping out of our skin.
Yeah.
I did not like that analogy. That made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But like the point stands, like it's.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Just ugh.
So Quinkes are created by sending electrical signals to the retrieved Kakuho of dead ghouls. This is why Juzo can't yet obtain a new Quinke, because he keeps dismembering every part of the ghouls he encounters. So 4 types of Kagune here: Ukaku, Kokaku, Rinkaku, and Bikaku. Ukaku are the highest up on the body and are presented like Toka's wings. Their primary quality is speed. Kakuho are in between the shoulder blades and come out as basically what Tsukiyama has, a spear that he can wrap around his arm. The primary quality of that being defense. Rinkaku are mid-back and come out as tentacles, like what Kaneki has. The primary quality is the ability of delivering decisive blows that end a battle quickly. And Bikaku are near the tailbone and come out like a tail. Their primary quality is that they have less overall weaknesses than the rest of the types of Kagune. So, if you guys were a ghoul, which type of Kagune would you want to have?
Okay, TBH, before this conversation starts, when I like read manga or manhwa and there's this like, whole like weakness resistance mechanic system, I usually just like brush it off and I'm like, eventually I'll pick it up if it's important. Otherwise, it's just whatever. So I don't actually remember what any of these are.
They go into the, like, what's effective against what, like, a fire-type Kagune is effective against a grass-type Kagune. No, that's not how it is, but it's a similar concept, and it really doesn't become important in the story like that. Yes, David?
I would say, what was that? The speed one? I like that one.
Yeah, the Yukaku, the one with the wings.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I like that one quite a bit.
I think that one looks the coolest too.
Yeah, especially how Ayato uses it, because he uses it as a ranged weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think ranged weapons are superior to melee weapons, largely.
Hey, I don't even love the whole tentacles that Rize's like Kagune has. Mm-hmm. I just like the regeneration. That is very tight.
Yeah, because
they can take almost anything, Yeah. Like they are champs. So I like that part of it.
That's true. Like Kaneki is. They say, I think, in this chapter that the type of ghoul that Kaneki and Rize have bodies that are naturally tougher than the rest of them.
My question is can there be like a hybrid?
Yeah, there can be, right? Because little girl, when Motto or Creepy Guy,
Motto,
was talking to the little girl. He was like, "Oh, it looks like the little girl's Kagune has the best aspects of both her parents' Kagune."
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's kind of like overpowered. I feel like
that is really cool. It's like,
dude, I would love to move fast and have tons of regeneration.
Yeah,
like crazy shit. What if like the ultimate ghoul had all four?
Oh god,
it seems like
his back is just a straight line of Kakuho.
Dude, all of his organs are just from like 20 different ghouls.
Oh my god!
Every single one is a war inside
that
his
just
body.
reminds me of like what, like All for One, in My Hero, just claiming everything.
I mean, we do know that there's probably like some kind of ghoul production going in the background, just because like Doctor.
That's been pretty much confirmed in this batch of chapters.
Yeah.
And did they say why they're doing it, or we just know they are doing it?
We don't. We do not know why.
Yeah.
We do not know why, unfortunately, but we will. I'm sure we will. Izzy, do you have a preferred Kagune if you were a ghoul?
Definitely the wings, but like I'd be so mad if I just ended up with just like a tail. Like to me, that's just not for me.
Yeah.
I was born. It's like, man, I could have had wings. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. But
what if I just grew a third leg?
A third leg? I mean, there has to be there has to be a reason why Nico likes Yamadi, right?
There it is.
Yep. I took it. I picked that shit right off of the branch.
Yikes.
I will say, when the tail Kagune are used, they do look pretty cool.
Yeah, isn't that what Shachi has?
It is.
He popped the fuck off.
Dude. Oh yeah,
like, that guy was moving.
He slaughtered Kagune or Kaneki. Too many K words in the story. So we end the chapter with a shot of Hide watching the news, keeping up to date with the developments of the ghoul world. We also see a shot of a centipede crawling around on the ground, which, as we now know, cannot be anything but foreshadowing. Kaneki is brought to the Aogiri Tree headquarters, where we meet three more prominent ghouls, Tatara, Eto, and Noro. Tatara declares that they have no use for Kaneki and hints that there might be more to Kaneki's operation than we were originally led to believe. In that, it wasn't a kidney that he had received, and that Dr. Kano may have known the extent of what he was doing all along. Of course, we now know that it wasn't, and he did. Later on, they even criticize the lack of consent with using Rize as an organ donor. While being held by Aogiri, Kaneki is approached by Banjo, who now knows that Rize was killed. He tells Kaneki that he's formed a group who plans to escape Aogiri using their knowledge of when Yamadi, Noro, Ayato, and the other two ghouls, known as the Bin Brothers, consistently leave headquarters to carry out other responsibilities. They currently have 5 more days until all those schedules line up and they have their best chance of escaping. Meanwhile, at the CCG, we are introduced to Special Investigator Maruda, who reveals to Shinohara, Amon, and Juzo that they'll be helping the 11th Ward Special Task Force on his big case. Also, they know the location of Aogiri Tree now from an anonymous tip that was sent to them. Takizawa becomes jealous of Juzo that he gets to be part of the operation, and he doesn't. And we also learn a little Yamadi lore from Shinohara. Yamadi is known around the CCG as Jason because he wears a hockey mask and comes from the 13th Ward. He's basically a walking Friday the 13th reference. He also loves to torture and kill just for the fun of it. Back to the Aogiri Tree, Kaneki and the rest of the prisoners are chopping up and rationing human food for the real Aogiri members. Koto, one of the prisoners that got captured by Aogiri with his mother, is about to get beaten for stealing meat, but Banjo comes in and takes the beating instead, insisting that he told the kid to steal it. So, has Banjo become anyone's new favorite character yet?
Bro, when Banjo first came in, I thought he was a little bitch because he got one-shotted by Kaneki.
Yeah.
But now he's actually becoming the GOAT because he's just sacrificing himself for the greater good.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
He is a good person.
Yeah.
You know?
He kind of reminds me of Midoriya in the first few episodes of My Hero Academia because Banjo can't use his Kagune, so he still jumps in and helps people even though he's probably gonna lose.
He actually reminds me of King from One Punch Man, where he doesn't have anything.
Well, King,
but he acts tough. When he came in, when he got first introduced, that panel was tough. He looks like a tough guy.
He's crying and panicking behind the scenes.
Dude.
On the day of the big escape, Kaneki and the rest make their move as soon as the Bin brothers go on break from their watch. As they make their way through, they begin anticipating what they're going to do once they're away, which, as we know, is always a good sign when making an escape. They're spotted by an Aogiri member who is able to alert the Bin brothers of his location before being disposed of. Koto's mother slips as one of the brothers approaches, but Banjo is able to hold him off for the rest to get away. Except, it's revealed to us that Banjo has basically the ghoul equivalent of ED. This man can't get it out. The it in question being his Kagune. Knowing this to basically be a death sentence, Kaneki and Banjo's friends go back to save him, insisting that they're all going to escape together. Though Kaneki gets the upper hand on the Bin brothers, we find out that Yamadi was onto them the whole time and shows up, having killed some of the escapees. Yamadi makes a deal with Kaneki, saying that he'll let everyone go if Kaneki comes with him. Obviously, this is a lie, and Kaneki knows it, but it works out in his mind that if he doesn't go with Yamadi, that they'll all be killed anyway, and that if he does, there's at least a tiny, tiny chance that he'll let them go. Kaneki decides to go with Yamadi, but Yamadi immediately goes back on his word, telling Nico to recapture all of the surviving escapees. The Anteku crew meets to discuss how they're going to fight against Aogiri Tree and save Kaneki. Mr. Yoshimura has enlisted the help of Tsukiyama and Uta. Everyone understandably protests against Tsukiyama joining in on the operation, since he's obviously just going to try to eat Kaneki. But he somehow convinces them that he's a changed man, and they figure that regardless of how truthful he's being, that they need all the help they can get anyway. So this was chapter 59, which starts off volume 7. The front cover of this is Kaneki with his white hair, but the back cover shows that he's holding a lizard that appears to be breaking apart. Now, why is this? This is a little bit of a fun fact. It turns out that Yamari in Japanese literally translates to gecko, so this artwork is meant to represent Kaneki's future triumph over Yamari later on in the story, and it's probably one of the most famous artwork in all of Tokyo Ghoul. So for the next few chapters, the anime and the manga are going to tell these events in different orders. The parts that at least try to keep sticking to the manga. Basically, everything we see that involves the CCG raiding Aogiri tree is shown to us in Season 2, whereas everything involving Kaneki and Yamari will take place in Season 1, even though the manga intersperses all these events since they're taking place at the same time. The way that they did it, I think, works for the anime, though, because it's easier to have each event flow more cohesively into one another than if some of the CCG raid was shown in Season 1. Plus, it means we get a damn good Season 1 cliffhanger.
Yeah, and also it makes sense, like, partitioning-wise, because otherwise, like, you'd be sort of halfway through a point of closure.
Exactly. So though the CCG raid on Aogiri Tree headquarters has begun, not much is happening because the way that these buildings are placed makes any kind of approach awkward, and they can't ambush head-on because they're being targeted by a sniper. Juzo's able to take care of the sniper, though, by using Maruda's motorcycle to speed up the stairs like a ramp and launch himself onto the floor of the building where the sniper is perched. After this happens in the end... Yeah.
Didn't the Marude, you said? The motorcycle guy also make, like, a pretty, like, killer shot as well? He just, like, advance already, pulls out gun, goes boom, and, like, headshots or something?
Oh, I think he does do that a bit earlier.
It's pretty aura right there.
Yeah. He's got some aura. Oh, of course, he kind of lost some aura because his motorcycle is now wrecked.
Yeah.
Like, Bro's motorcycle took up about half of his aura.
Or went out.
After this happens in the anime, and Maruda orders his men to go, they show him dropping to his knees in despair because he loves that bike so much. And, you know, despite how much crap I give Season 2, I do find that part to be really funny. Juzo has fun killing his new ghoul friends on his own as the rest of the soldiers begin raiding the building. Ready to spring into action, Ayato asks where Yamari is, which is where we get our very first shot of Kaneki with his white hair. So do we have any strong opinions here on how Kaneki looks with the white hair? I guess here or in general.
I think it looks more badass.
It is kind of badass.
I feel like white hair has culturally always been, like, badass when you see it on, like, younger people.
Oh yeah. You're talking about like frosted tips.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, like, a lot of major villains, like, both in video games and in anime, like, I'm thinking, like, Sephiroth or the entire Kingdom's Hearts series, where, all the villains have white hair.
Hell yeah. If villains in anime are more shown to have white hair, what does this mean for Kaneki?
He's accepted his ghoul nature.
Yeah.
Or he's going to become the villain at the end of the story.
Or he's partitioned his ghoul nature.
Yeah. Either of those could be the case. So we rewind a little to when Yamari first begins his torturing of Kaneki. He injects Kaneki with an RC suppressant that makes a ghoul's body as easy to injure as a human's, and he does so through a little corner of Kaneki's eye, which is the only location soft enough to receive such an injection. I don't know about you guys, but that made me cringe a little. I'm a gore junkie like that, but when it comes to eye stuff...
That is, like, as gross as Luke's comment to me. It was nasty. I was like, nope.
Dude, it literally took me back to Dead Space. I got Dead Space.
Dead Space, okay.
But also, literally, it probably didn't have to be a needle, because the eyeball is a permeable membrane. It could have just been an eye drop.
That's true. He probably wanted to inflict as much pain as he could. Because this is Yamadi we're talking about.
That guy.
Yamadi spends the next who knows how long cutting Kaneki's fingers and toes off and waiting for them to grow back and enjoying every minute of it. He also has Kaneki count backwards from 1000 in integrals of 7 to prevent Kaneki from losing his mind, because then the fun stops. Yamadi goes on to explain his backstory and how he became so fucked up. He also reveals that Dr. Kano has gone missing, but is using Rize's body parts to create more one-eyed ghouls. We know that he's basically keeping Rize alive, extracting her kohaku to put into humans, turning them into ghouls, and then waiting for her body to generate another kohaku. Or, we know that now. We didn't at the time, though. Then Yamadi lets a huge centipede crawl around inside Kaneki's ear. Not just a centipede. I think he said it was Japan's largest centipede. Yeah. It's that is intense.
Chinese red-headed centipede.
Oh, yeah. So while Kaneki slowly...
This might be old. Has anyone read or heard of Animorphs?
Yes!
Yes!
Oh, yeah!
Yes.
That was...
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I love the meme where it's we have bread and it's just the person turning into a duck.
Dude, the whole plot of that series was hilarious. Aliens are coming. What do we have to do? Turn into a dog right now.
The ear slugs.
What?
Animorphs has the ear slugs. Those are the aliens.
Oh, God. While Kaneki slowly loses his mind, he also uses the time to reflect, both in regard to his friends and in regard to his mother and her personal philosophy. While this batch of chapters appears to lose the stylistic choice of coloring the void between panels black, the paneling in the parts where we see Yamadi torturing Kaneki is shown to be extremely chaotic, which does a great job of showing Kaneki's loss of sanity, and yet we can still follow along easily, showing the bits that Kaneki still holds on to through the subtraction exercise. How's that for an AP Lit analysis? So Kaneki's mother's philosophy: be somebody who knows pain instead of somebody who hurts. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
Dude, how tragic is this, bro?
Yeah.
This is just so sad.
Yeah. I don't really agree with that. It's a happy medium you have to find, right?
Well, I mean, whether it's, happy medium, in general, you shouldn't be hurting people.
No. But it's then we get into the question of, the tough love thing. Which is, it might be hurting in the moment, but it's for the good of the person in question. So,
I also kind of took it as, she gets stuck, she's being taken advantage of, and she's just not standing up for herself, or that's just the way of thinking.
Yeah. So the primary...
It was seeing it as virtuous was, the thing that got me. In his mind, he's if I just take on all the pain, then nobody else has to feel it. And, he finds out that that's just wrong. But I also just find it so tragic, seeing how much he was trying to fulfill that virtue, that legacy of virtue that his mom handed down to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of... What's also tragic is that, after this battle, after they all escape, or after Kaneki escapes at least, he's I will protect everyone. It's that's kind of what your mother was doing, or that's the same concept of what your mother was doing before, and that's what caused her to die. This is Kaneki's taking everything on himself.
Yeah, it's just the same thing in another way.
Yeah.
He's still trying to take the burden of everybody, but maybe if he can dish out the pain, then he can at least protect the things that he loves. But it's at the same time, he's pushing everybody away.
Yeah.
Doesn't know who he is, fracturing his identity. Bro's spiraling.
Exactly. So the primary flaw is that Kaneki's mother is making it a binary choice. Like, according to her, you have to either be one or the other with no mention of a gray area, apparently. And the reality is that to be a well-rounded person, it's important to know when each is necessary. Like, being someone who knows pain means willing to make certain sacrifices for those that you care for to a certain degree, whereas being someone who hurts could be representative of delivering, like I said, tough love when you think the person in question needs it. Like, let's take Kaneki's aunt, who always asked his mother for money, for example. So Kaneki's mother makes certain sacrifices to help her sister while she's in a financial pinch by giving her some of her own money. Delivering some tough love, or quote-unquote inflicting pain in this instance, even as it's like a figurative pain, would be to cut her off at a certain point. Now she could help her sister get back to some kind of financial stability that isn't just leeching off of her, but as for just straight giving her money, that would be over. It's like a teach a man to fish concept and all that. You know, he eats for life.
I mean, I feel like preserving yourself is different from, like, intentionally harming someone.
Yes. Okay, yeah, that's a fair point.
But regardless, like, I think, you know, being able to empathize with other people is, like, vastly important in general.
So during the torture, Kaneki also appears to start losing some of his humanity, or I guess I should say ghoulanity, as he says every time they would grow back, they being his fingers and toes, I was reminded that I was truly, truly, truly a monster. Like, it's kind of like we go through the whole first part of Tokyo Ghoul as Kaneki learns to be a ghoul and to accept being in the ghoul world, and during the torture, it goes back to I'm a monster.
I mean, accepting, like, that he was a ghoul to some extent isn't necessarily embracing all of who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so, in this kind of instance, right, he ends up acknowledging more of his ghoul side.
Yeah. Especially after all this torturing is over.
Mm-hmm.
In Kaneki's mind, he sees Rize, who helps him recount big events of his childhood. His father died when he was only 4, but he discovered his love for reading through his father's books. Kaneki says it made him feel like he was talking to his father. He remembers good times with his mother, but also how he felt alone from how much she worked. He remembers how she gave his aunt money, how she worked herself to death, and how, while living with his aunt started out all right, she began growing distant and cold toward him from her insecurities in her own son. Kaneki ended up feeling like the only people in his family who cared about him anymore were the ones who died. And now that they're gone, all he really had left was Hide. Really offers a new perspective to their friendship, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see Kaneki's character design in this kind of transitional period. Because, like, before, I don't know if you guys thought this too, but he looked kind of baby-faced. Just a little bit. Like, when he had the black hair. But the longer Ishida draws Kaneki with the white hair, I feel like we're going to see that he starts to mature in his features a little more, like, especially around the eyes.
That's what I was gonna mention.
Yeah.
But you can see when he reverts, though.
Yeah.
Like, his environment changes back to, like, his human side more. You know what I'm saying? Like, who he was. You can see his eyes change from, like, the angular, like, you know, I need to get X and Y and Z done.
Yeah.
Like, he's, like, all business, you know what I mean? To back to who he was at Ontanku.
Yeah, it's like interacting with Hinami versus interacting with the rest of the ghouls. Yamane returns, telling Kaneki that while trying to break him physically has been fun, he now really wants to break him emotionally. He does so by presenting Koto and his mother, revealing that he never let them go and that Kaneki must choose one to allow to live. Though Koto's mother mouths to Kaneki to save Koto, Kaneki ultimately refuses to choose, and Yamane ends up killing both of them. So how accurate Do you guys think it would be to label this test for Kaneki as like an advanced version of the trolley problem? And do you think Kaneki's not pulling of the figurative lever was the right choice?
I think remember I asked that to you guys like when I did like the weird trolley problems.
Yeah, it's like advanced trolley problems.
Kind of like where I would choose not pulling the lever because that would put me as someone who caused the accident. I guess in this case, it's kind of like Kaneki will feel a lot of guilt for not pulling the lever, the metaphorical lever, but in this case, both of them had to die.
Well, also,
I feel like it's kind of like that.
It is kind of different too, because when we were talking about those other trolley problems, you were also looking at it from a legal perspective.
That's true.
So it's like the law. This is kind of a special case where the law kind of doesn't apply. Like we're talking about, we're in an environment of torture here.
Right, but so in this case, it'd be more so of like I guess a guilt of choosing which one, because then you know, whoever dies is gonna feel bad for.
After is like, oh shit, this is not the way the world works. I can't just endlessly eat shit for everybody around me because I need power. Or this crazy dude with a ski mask is going to kill whoever he wants.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to be powerless nonetheless.
Yeah.
I mean, he wanted to escape by like telling him to kill Kaneki.
Yeah.
So he couldn't choose.
The way that the manga frames this event is that Kaneki is still responsible. Like he does feel that guilt even though he didn't make a decision. Well, he chose not to. He chose not to choose.
A decision is still a decision.
Exactly.
Well, I think this is more with Kaneki's moral agency and the fact that, you know, if he had been able to step up his game, this wouldn't have happened in the first place. And it's not really about the decision of saving one over the other. It's about there could have been a better outcome if he actually pushed it. Because, you know, after that, he wipes the floor with the dude.
Oh, yeah. And he does. Right. This does inspire him to start training really seriously, right?
I guess training really seriously. I mean, to me, it kind of like breaks the realism a little bit because like he goes from like being this wimpy, not very good at combat person to all of a sudden like he's good at fighting.
But I kind of took that as like it kind of showed how much he was living by his mom's like virtue.
Yeah.
Like he was in this position not because he couldn't get out of it. He could have got out of it, but he just thought if he suffered enough, somehow he would free the people around him. You know what I mean? Or keep them from harm. And then he realized that's not the case in this interaction.
And also, like, earlier, we're shown that he does have the martial arts knowledge from all the books that he's read because, like, he took down Banjo in self-defense. But I think it's like now he's using it to go on the offensive instead.
Wait, he read martial arts books? I thought he learned it from that one dude.
He did both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But even then, like, just because you have martial arts knowledge, like, putting it into a muscle memory, like, it just seems...
That is true.
It's like, you don't just read martial arts books and then all of a sudden, like, oh, I am now a black belt in karate.
No. It takes a lot of practice. In that same light, he says to Rize, or his manifestation of Rize, I'll learn to control my Kagune. And, you know, we see him, like, in the fight against Yamari, being able to control his Kagune without much learning needed. I guess that's what the power of locking in is.
I mean, that's kind of like learning to use a new muscle.
True, yeah. I guess he does kind of struggle in the fight against Yamari. It's like he can afford to make mistakes in that fight because he's not really being injured by Yamari. Maybe in that light you could see it as practice of some kind. So Kaneki has this big internal dialogue with his mind's manifestation of Rize, in which he comes to the conclusion that his mother's philosophy is bullshit, and that if he doesn't become stronger and learn to control his powers, everyone he loves will suffer. Kaneki begins feeding on this manifestation of Rize, and finally and fully accepts that he is a ghoul. We kind of have some of the biggest differences between the manga and anime in this chapter, which is chapter 63. The first thing being, in the manga, Yamari uses the mother-son pair to emotionally break Kaneki, and that was apparently deemed too far for television audiences. So they put Banjo's friends, who, at least in the anime, are lovers, in their place instead. And they're the ones who are usually wearing those bird masks. And the second thing is the symbolism of Kaneki's hair. Now, in the manga, his hair turns white because of Marie Antoinette syndrome as a result of the intense torture. And we can see that it doesn't all turn white immediately. Like, we see it happening slowly over the course of his torture. In the anime, the first time we actually see his hair turn white is when he says his famous "I am a ghoul" line. And when it happens all at once. For this instance, it's meant to be more symbolic and represent the visual change in Kaneki we see as a result of his drastic behavioral shift. Now, you're going to see that Kaneki goes through several different changes throughout the story, and that's usually accompanied visually by a change in his hair. So with that information in mind, do you think that the way the anime takes it fits better in the story than how the manga does it?
I think in anime there is just like that level of dramaticism that they need, because anime is a lot just episodic.
Yeah.
And they need to capture attention. So having iconic moments like that, and kind of like sudden changes is more of a theatrical thing than it is like usually plot related.
Yeah, I think they needed it. I haven't seen it either, but I think they needed to do it like that. But like for the manga, I feel like it kind of adds like the longevity of it, because I don't remember if they ever said how long the torture is, but
no, they don't.
I feel like with the hair slowly changing, it kind of like makes it feel longer.
It makes Kaneki's torture feel like it's taking forever, like he's there for months, maybe. Weeks.
Wasn't it like
months.
2 weeks max? It was like 2 weeks?
I think so, because the CCG people are talking about, like the investigators are talking about, like when their operation's going to take place and all that. Nick, do you have any strong opinion on how the manga does it versus how the anime does it?
No, I didn't really remember how the anime did it.
Oh, okay.
I just remember that one scene of him in the air and the moon up in the sky outside as he escaped.
Yeah.
Iconic.
So Yamari tells Kaneki that if a ghoul cannibalizes another ghoul, that they'll grow stronger, then attempts to eat Kaneki himself. Kaneki breaks out of the chair he's been shackled to and fights Yamari. Try as Yamari might, he's unable to overpower Kaneki, even when he breaks out what is known as his kakuja, which is a kagune that the ghoul can wear and is achieved through cannibalism, making it extremely rare and extremely powerful. Because it's basically like you're increasing the amount of RC cells that that a kakuho can take in, so it's like makes it that much more powerful. We also see that the Onteku squad are now in disguise on the Aogiri premises. So from this fight, in the early chapters with this new Kaneki, what can you immediately tell is different about him? Maybe he's more sadistic when he fights?
Oh, for sure. He's like
100%.
Yeah.
He's picked up on what worked against himself.
Yeah.
And is now willing to immediately weaponize it.
Oh, yeah.
Against other people.
Yeah, it's like he wants to fight now. Compared to beforehand, he's kind of like a little bitch.
and he's actually competent at fighting, whereas like because he theoretically learned like fighting techniques before from that other guy, but in this case he's actually just like, to me this felt like just like randomly he suddenly became super competent.
Yeah. All he had to do is just stop giving a shit.
That's turned into Sasuke.
That's what locking in is about. Turn into Sasuke.
Dude, that ass.
So I just have to say, I love this fight. Ever since I first saw it in the anime, I've rewatched it dozens of times. The animation is just so badass, and it was so awesome to see this new Kaneki finally give Yamari what he deserves. That being said, though, I do think the fight is a lot better in the manga. This like the epic artwork, especially the character angles and the shading. It really sells it for me. Nick, as someone who's seen the anime before, which do you prefer in regard to this fight?
I would have to go back and watch for a definitive answer, but I really enjoy some of these giant panels that show like multiple actions back to back to back. I really like that. I find it very dynamic.
Like one landscape with the characters jumping from point to point, kind of. Yeah.
Like bouncing off the wall. Like, yeah, it's sick. I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Since ghouls possess heightened senses, Irimi, another employee from Onteku, is able to essentially be the quote-unquote guy in the chair and communicate the locations of certain Aogiri and CCG members. She also teaches Hinami how to do it, who is able to use it to find Kaneki. Kaneki, meanwhile, defeats Yamari and eats his kakuja all the way down to the kakuho, while making Yamari recite the same subtraction exercise that he made Kaneki do. Kaneki also pulls the centipede out of his head finally. So this moment right here ends season 1 of the anime, and the cliffhanger is really good. It basically fades to black as Kaneki takes his first bite of Yamari's kagune, and he's like, you'll get what's coming to you when I eat you instead. And like Unravel is playing in the background. It's just so good. While imprisoned, Banjo is in despair at how weak he is. Kaneki releases him, claiming that he'll protect everyone from now on, which is very close to being a Spider-Man reference. Banjo takes note of how different Kaneki is now. When Kaneki goes to release Banjo, you can see that he still has some of the kindness in his eyes as before. Like, this is what you were talking about before, Nick. And it's especially impactful here, I think, because up to this point we had only seen Kaneki, or like white-haired Kaneki with his serious face, because he was fighting Yamari this whole time. But to see that he still has the kind eyes as before is kind of, it's reassuring in a sense.
But it's also weird. It's reassuring and weird.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind, but there's still something different, right?
And it's like
he's more sure of himself.
But it's also weird to see that plain and innocent version still so intact, but the other side of him is also there just as much. It's like flip-flopping back and forth contextually, like very dramatically, which is...
He's also kind of
unstable. He seems unstable, you know? Like, he's kind of... He might become more unstable as these two...
This is like, you think...
This is kind of the part where I kind of made notes. Like, this is where we actually start seeing what I think is the psychological bit for this.
Yes.
Whereas, like, before, I don't think psychological really came into play for the genre.
So I think it started around the torture aspects.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it started, like, specifically when he started seeing Rize in his head and talking to Rize.
Yeah, exactly. But it's reassuring to see Kaneki in that way, because it shows that he still cares about his friends all the same. He's also kind of more blunt, because he's like, he tells Banjo, he's like, don't be sad, you're unfit to be a leader anyway.
Roasted.
He kind of just says that, matter-of-factly.
Tell it how it is, man.
Yeah. So the Onteku crew comes across a squad of doves and decides to split up. Yomo, Uta, and Sugiyama will fight their way through the doves, while Toka and Nishiki find a different route. However, Toka and Nishiki run into Ayato, who injures Nishiki pretty badly. Ayato tells Toka that Kaneki is already dead since he's at Yamari's mercy. Meanwhile, the investigators make their way through the buildings and come across an infamous ghoul known as the One-Eyed Owl, a.k.a. Mr. Yoshimura himself.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Goat.
Wait, the One-Eyed Owl was Yoshimura? What?
Yeah.
Dude, and not only that, how many ghouls has this dude eaten to have, like, his whole body is encased in shit? Like you know what I mean? Like, how many has he eaten? This guy.
I don't know if his whole body is encased in it. I think that's just like the get up.
It looks like it's
I thought they said that. I thought they said that like his kohaku is a different kind because it like encases his whole body like armor.
Oh.
I thought that was like a thing.
I might have missed that then.
I don't know. I could have made it up.
Wait, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that Yoshimura, the manager of Onteku, was the one-eyed owl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they hint at it when they're like, every time we see the one-eyed owl, nobody dies. But like shit goes down, but he never kills anybody.
Exactly.
So.
Oh, I guess I just missed that.
We're shown a flashback to 10 years ago when the CCG last fought the one-eyed owl. At the time, Kisho Arima, a name we've been hearing all throughout the story, was still an up-and-comer. He was like 19 at the time, but proved exceptional skill by driving away the owl. Special investigator Kuroiwa prepares to fight by activating a Kakuja Quinke. Meanwhile, Toka and Ayato fight, arguing over the difference in philosophy when it comes to living with humans. Ayato ultimately beats Toka in this battle. How well are you all able to follow along with the action and what's happening in each panel? Because, like, a small knock I've always had against Tokyo Ghoul is that sometimes its action can be kind of hard to follow along with. And for me, I think that it mostly starts in this short fight between Toka and Ayato.
Yeah, I don't remember any of what happened there. Like, I did not pick up what you were picking up. But, like, the Kaneki fight, I was fine. It was just this part where it just felt like this...
yeah, it's like harder to know what's going on, right?
Yeah, because it's like in the past. It just feels rushed.
I'd say it can be because of all the flashbacks, and then all of a sudden it cuts to like, him fighting her back.
Yeah,
I feel like it can be hard to follow. I can get that.
Is it just that it just doesn't seem clear that there's a flashback?
I think
I was just very confused.
When it's a flashback, I think the background, like the part in between the pan. Oh, you know what? During this flashback, Toka and Ayato's traumatic backstory flashback, the squares, like the outline around the panels is like gone. Like it's just not present, and that's the only indicator we really have that it's a flashback. But it's like other times they use or they just color the in between the panels as completely black, and it's like that's the flashback. So it's like they keep changing it up, and maybe it might work a bit better if they kept it consistent.
Honestly, I did write a note for this chat. I have random notes. Most of them aren't really relevant at this point, just because like they're random shit. But like the one note I wrote for this was, "What's up with the sort of not flashback no jutsu for Toka?" I don't know what exactly possessed me to write that.
Flashback no jutsu.
But that was my thought.
I love that.
Speaking of which, we do learn about Toka and Ayato's traumatic backstory here. Ayato was a very timid boy, Toka was a bright girl. Can I make it any more obvious? So their father taught them the importance of living amongst humans and doing things that they might not want to do to preserve peace with them, which is something that Ayato in particular could never wrap his head around. He told Toka that as the big sister, she had to teach things to Ayato, and that since Ayato was the brother, he had to do what he could to protect Toka. They were one big happy family until one night when their father never returned, having fallen to the doves. Mado, in particular, having an active hand in this development. Toka and Ayato had come to find their neighbors now know that they're ghouls and were forced to flee their town, said neighbors attempting to capture them. This is when they were found by Mr. Yoshimura, who eventually insisted that they attend school. Toka accepts, trying her hardest to live by her father's teachings and live peacefully with humans. Ayato, on the other hand, leaves because he thinks humans are dangerous to their survival and can't stand to live hiding in their world. So does anyone now have any sympathy for Ayato as a result of this flashback?
A little bit, but...
It's kind of hard, right? Because he's still kind of an asshole.
Bro's a total dick, yeah. Like, dude. Dude.
Yeah.
You're
He'd
going
abandon
really
his
far
sister
right
for it.
now. He's beating the shit out of her. Like, bro, calm down. Like, holy shit. I don't know what.
But like that's what siblings do, though, kind of.
I don't know about it at this age.
He's like ripping her wing off and shit, dog. Like.
Before Ayato lands a finishing blow on Toka, Kaneki swoops in for the save.
That save is literally fucking like in Naruto. I know Izzy remembers this. When fucking Naruto saves Sakura from fucking Sasuke killing her.
Dude.
Like literally swoops in. It's literally the same thing.
Yeah, and Sakura's still into him, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no. Anyways, yeah.
She's like, I can fix him.
Every time.
Kaneki points out the fact that if Ayato really wanted to kill Toka, he would have done it by now, and that he actually protected her from Yamari back at Onteku, even though it didn't seem like it, because his version of protecting her was literally like kicking her across the room.
I'll beat the shit out of her before he can beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, because the way he'll beat the shit out of her will be way worse. Kaneki also insists that he's going to beat Ayato half to death, which comes in the form of him breaking exactly half the bones in Ayato's body. Soldiers reach the aftermath of the battle, but Noro shows up and disposes of them. I also kind of want to say Noro, probably freakiest mask in the story so far.
Did Kaneki actually count the bones?
He did.
That he was breaking?
Yeah. He did.
There be him flexing his college knowledge of passing biology and actually knowing how many bones is exactly half the bones. He must have gotten A in human anatomy.
Exactly. And he was like listing the names of each bone too.
An educated king.
Yeah.
Educated sadistic king, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
He's dunking on the uneducated.
He's just flexing at this point. Soldiers reach the aftermath of the battle. Noro shows up and disposes of them. Yomo, Uta, and Tsukiyama also showed up and insist that Kaneki rests for a second while they deal with Noro. Though the battle between all of them is short, we do witness Noro's incredible regenerative ability, one that might even rival Kaneki's. At the beep of a timer he has, though, Noro calls a fight, retrieves Ayato, and leaves. Meanwhile, Amon fights against the Bin brothers, and his squad, is also there. He slices them up real bad and spots Kaneki out the window. They lock eyes for a second before Kaneki continues on. So Amon says that there's a lot he wants to ask Kaneki, but with Kaneki having changed so much, how likely is it that at this point that he'll actually get clarity on the things that Kaneki said the last time they fought?
I think it'll absolutely happen. Just maybe not in the near future. I feel like it's going to be some epic reveal after, like, one of them is close to death or something.
Mm.
And I still don't know, like, what Kaneki wants outside of, like, just protecting the people that he wants to protect.
Well, the reason he goes, like, off on his own is because he wants to find out who Rize was, what the connection to Dr. Kano is.
Yeah, like, to, like, what end? Because here's why I asked that. Because he might get along with Amon if his goal is like a greater peace. Like if he's trying to undo all these kind of like ghoul terrorist groups. You know what I mean? I don't know like what his end goal is for like. I know he wants to figure stuff out and like who he is, why this happened to him, what the fuck's going on. But, like to what end? You know?
I think maybe to prevent like experimentation like that from happening in the future.
In which case, they probably could have a productive conversation.
They probably could, if they just talk to one another peacefully, not in the heat of battle.
But of course, build up a plot always relies on lack of communication.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo.
Ain't that the truth? So Juzo also spots Kaneki on his path, being shown to have retrieved the body of Yamori after carving it up pretty badly. Like, bro literally takes his Quinke knife and carves a circle in Yamori's face. It's pretty gnarly. By the way, the fight between Shinohara and Mr. Yoshimura, the One-Eyed Owl, has also been going on this whole time, but it ends with Mr. Yoshimura explaining that any act of taking a life is equally evil regardless if it's human or ghoul. Mr. Yoshimura escapes, and Shinohara takes note that when they first fought the owl 10 years ago, that many were wounded but no deaths. Nick, you mentioned that earlier. So do you think Mr. Yoshimura was always the type to preserve life like he does? Or do you think he could have also been kind of a problem child in his youth, like the rest of the Anteku crew?
I bet he was a problem child. He looks like he's been through some shit, and he's like the kind that... It's like, man, war... war is war. Like, nobody wins in war.
It's like battle-aged?
Yeah, and he seems like he really enjoys the peace he's like found.
Yeah.
He definitely had some self-reflection. And I mean, he's so old compared to everybody else. He definitely had time to be a problem and then kind of learned from that.
Yeah.
Wait, is he actually a one-eyed ghoul?
No, that's just how his costume looks.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I interrupted you, Izzy.
Oh, I was just saying that I was about to head out.
Oh, you're gonna head out?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little tired.
Oh, okay.
So, thank you so much.
Peace out.
Also, congrats on your win this week.
What's my win?
You beat me in fantasy.
Fantasy.
Yeah.
Get cooked, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
All right. See you
See
next
ya.
time. Spooky noises. The Aogiri operation is basically over. Maruda receives a call from Koto Arima asking him to send troops his way to the 23rd Ward Detention Center because Aogiri's main unit has moved there, excited to kill as many humans as possible for the 200 ghouls that they lost in the fight. Nico reveals to us that there exists no such ghoul called the One-Eyed Owl, but since the One-Eyed King, I mean. But since he explains the rest through a whisper, we still do not know the full truth behind him. Kaneki, Banjo, and the rest of the Anteku squad convenes on a cliff overlooking the battle-torn headquarters of Aogiri Tree. Kaneki tells everyone that he won't be returning to Anteku, for there are things he has to do, saying that he has to keep getting stronger. Banjo and Tsukiyama insist on going with him, and while Kaneki accepts, he delivers a very stern threat to Tsukiyama's life should he try anything. Toka is also about to insist on joining Kaneki, but Kaneki interrupts her, asking about school and how entrance exams for college are happening in the future. Toka runs off, Nishiki gives one last farewell to Kaneki, and the rest help an injured Yoshimura back to Anteku, and thus Kaneki begins his own journey. So a quote by Kaneki here: "When I look up at the sky, the same moon I once saw was up. His words that kept repeating in my head, 'This world is wrong, it's you monsters that are distorting it.' I think if the world is wrong, what's distorting it is everything that exists in this world." Is that not just the perfect way to summarize the entire point of the story up to this point?
Pretty much.
I think so, too. So through the rest of this series, we're going to be touching a little bit more on the differences between the manga and Season 2 of the anime, which they call Root A, which they displayed with a square root symbol and a capital letter A under it. Nearly everything that happens after Kaneki leaves Yamari for dead is different in the anime. The big difference here is that in the anime, Kaneki joins Aogiri Tree after saving Toka rather than fighting against them. This, in my opinion, makes no sense after the absolute hell that Aogiri put him through. In the manga, he goes on independently, as we just saw, with the group that he forms from Banjo and Tsukiyama, and while he fights against Aogiri, he's going to primarily be concerned with getting stronger and also finding Dr. Kano. Now, I believe the intention of the anime calling it Route A was meant to mean either Route Aogiri, showing a what-if scenario in which Kaneki joined Aogiri, or it means Route Aogiri, meaning Kaneki tries to take down or uproot Aogiri Tree from the inside. The latter makes a little more sense, but I don't really think either is a good representation of a path that Kaneki would choose, and I felt that even more after I read the manga, which makes quite a good deal more sense. So now that the battle is over, we move on to the Post-Aogiri tree / Timeskip arc. 6 months after the Aogiri tree operation, we find Kotaro Amon being promoted to senior investigator, something unheard of at his age, as well as Juzo being promoted to a rank 2 investigator. We also learn that during the battle, the higher-ups of Aogiri broke into the ghoul detention facility known as Kokli in the 23rd Ward and released many dangerous ghouls to the streets of Tokyo. Amon meets up with Shinohara, who says that part of Mado's will was the letter of recommendation that helped get Amon to the rank of senior investigator. He also says that Amon will be getting his new partner next week. Amon visits Mado's grave and is approached by his late partner's daughter, Akira Mado, who reveals herself as Amon's new subordinate. Come the next week, Takizawa starts to feel double threatened, not only because Juzo is the same rank as him now, but also because Akira is joining the squad. Remember how it was mentioned that Takizawa was second best in the academy? Well, Akira was number 1, so lots of tension there. What's our first impression of Akira Mado?
Smash.
Well...
Yo!
Wait, what? Okay. I mean,
my first... Huh?
Go ahead, Luke.
Oh, okay. My first 2 thoughts was, 1, wow, they're trying to humanize Mado more and more, which is kind of interesting.
Like he's a
considering
father.
how they portrayed him as such a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second thought was, like, daughter? Potential romance for Amon? Is this happening? What is the age difference between these two? Is this okay to ship? I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
Almond's still fairly... He's like... he's still fairly young. They're both... I don't think,
she felt like early... art style-wise, she felt like early 20s, and Amon felt like...
maybe mid-20s?
Mid-30s?
Mid-30s, okay. He's definitely not.
But I could be completely wrong.
He's definitely not that old. Amon is definitely.
He was 27.
Yeah, 20. I think you're right.
And
you know what? I'm gonna look at the wiki.
Okay.
And Akira, like she said, she just graduated, so probably like 22.
Yes. So not
so
that big.
In Tokyo Ghoul, she was 21 to 22 years old.
Okay.
And then Amon is 27 by the time of the Anteku raid.
Okay. Like, I don't think that's too terrible of an age gap.
No, that's not bad. Okay. Like, I feel okay shipping this.
Yeah.
Potentially.
That's a long explanation for Smash.
Nick, did you have any particular thoughts on Akira?
I was shocked at how similar she was to her father in...
What do you mean by that? She's not a psychopath.
No, but she is like...
She's very logical, right?
She seems hyper logical, but she also seems just as obsessed with ghouls and kinkways. Like, just it presents in a less unhinged way. But I promise you follow her for another 50 years, one eye is going to be bulging larger than the other. She'll be just as weird.
Like, she's gonna turn into her father.
Oh, for sure, dude. Like, the fact that she's like, oh, I don't want to use, proper words because they take too long. We could play, like, bro, what? That's unhinged.
It's, like, very get to the point.
That's because, I think it depends on who they end up with. Honestly, I don't know how Mado actually turned out the way he did if he was in, like, a healthy relationship with his family.
So there are some of the extra comics in the back of the manga that we first meet Akira in does show what their interaction was like, and it was a pretty normal father-daughter relationship. Like I'd say that is probably one of the healthier father-daughter relationships we've seen in anime, surprisingly.
I guess, but like. Becoming the unhinged person he was, I feel like there's not enough explanation for that.
I guess he did a good job of separating work life with family life.
I guess maybe with his partner and his daughter, he was just a completely different person.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can see that being the case. So they begin discussing new events that have transpired around Tokyo, mostly about how the gourmet's feeding patterns seem to have changed, theorizing that what this could mean moving forward and how they should handle it. Akira theorizes that based on the wards the gourmet has been operating in, the real target he's after most likely resides in the 6th ward, and thus they all decide to look more closely into the 6th during their investigation. Amon tries to establish a more desirable working relationship with Akira. He first does this by scolding her about her showing him respect, and for some reason this doesn't work. Per the advice of Shinohara, though, he then does so by asking her to join him to grab a bite to eat, which she declines because she doesn't eat past 9 p.m. for some reason. Amon and Akira also investigate a massacre that took place at the Ghoul restaurant, the presence of a quinque that was split in half, leading Amon to believe that it was the eye patch ghoul, after Kaneki split his previous quinque in half. Later on, Juzo receives his new quinque and names it Jason, or after the ghoul whose parts they used to make it. It's a huge scythe. So, has anyone seen Ruby here?
Yeah, the Rooster Teeth show.
Yeah,
absolutely. I haven't been keeping up with it lately, but
no, I've only seen up to season 3 or up through season 3.
Yeah,
because I heard it gets
season 5.
I heard it gets pretty bad after that. But personally, I'm more partial to Ruby's scythe myself, just because it looks less cartoony, and 2, it's also a gun.
That's pretty sick.
Like, Juzo's scythe is very cartoony, and also it's not a gun. The CCG sends Amon and Akira to the Kakkli Detention Center to get information from a ghoul priest held there regarding all the ghouls that broke out of the facility. On the way, Amon scolds Akira for not putting as much detail in her report as she should have and doesn't take into account all possibilities, only her own, or the ones that she personally believes in. Akira doesn't want to concern herself with possibilities she doesn't believe for the sake of efficiency. For the record, I think both Amon and Akira make some good points here, because on the one hand, presenting the most amount of depth and possibilities can help narrow down what the best course of action is and what the next logical step should be, but on the other hand, presenting frivolous details that are basically fluff just waste time and delays the action that can be taken. Frankly, there's a happy medium that I think they both seem to be overlooking here. The car ride really brings forth flaws in both Amon and Akira. Akira's biggest flaws are that she's very individualistic and often comes across as having a bit of a swelled head because of it, only truly believing in the theories that she comes up with herself. Amon, on the other hand, overlooks the fact that respect is earned, not just given, and that he often lets his temper get the better of him when Akira doesn't do things the way he thinks they should be done. He's very by the book that way. And at the end of the day, they both have a very my way or the highway attitude. With the cold way that Akira seems to be treating Amon thus far, do you think she also secretly blames him for the death of her father?
Nah.
I don't get that vibe.
You don't get that vibe?
I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah?
I can definitely see it, especially since they work together a lot.
Maybe on some subconscious level, but I don't think she would ever, I don't think she consciously would think that.
I think that's a pretty good read on it. Amon and Akira meet with the ghoul priest, who's revealed to be Amon's foster parent, though Amon doesn't acknowledge any kind of relation to him now. The priest gives Amon no information for the questions that Maruda and the CCG had him ask, but tells Amon to chase the white rabbit instead of Alice. I think he might be saying to not focus as much on his primary target, but rather the thing that's most likely going to lead his target to where it currently is. Like, what in particular that might be, I don't really know. Because that's how That's how Alice got to Wonderland, as she was following the rabbit. Maruda's associate reports that they were able to find the guy that gave them the anonymous tip on the location of Aogiri Tree. One Hideyoshi Nagachika, Kaneki's best friend. We learn that Hide has been working lately as a part-time staff assistant in the CCG office in the 20th Ward. They talk to Hide about this, and he admits to it. Turns out that Hide has developed an addiction to placing trackers on suspicious-looking people, one of which just so happened to be Yamori while he was in the 20th Ward. And so, like, we kind of see Juzo pick this up off of Yamari's shoe, and he's like, "What's this?" and tosses it away. He followed Yamari to the 11th Ward, and the rest is history. Marude promotes Hide to an investigator assistant, and regardless of what Hide's intentions are, Marude thinks that Hide could prove to be useful. So you can slowly feel some kind of anticipation building up as Kaneki and Hide continue to move in opposite directions in life like this, with Hide in the CCG and Kaneki more so in the ghoul world. And
it's not just that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask any speculation as to how this will come to a head.
I think it's great tension to build, because like they're not even like antagonistic, but they're set on a crash course for each other.
Yeah.
Like somewhere soon they're both chasing the same thing. And they're gonna Ooh. And
we want to see what happens when they do clash like that.
Because they know so we've got to see both sides. They basically have the story down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They piece it together, and it's his best friend. Like, you can see how desperate he is to try to figure out what's going on with Kaneki, because like he's seeing him chase Yamori gave me anxiety.
Yeah. It's like if he does anything wrong, he could be in for a world of trouble. Right?
Yeah, and it's just a crazy thing to do, to just follow random people. Like, I don't know. I'm very captivated what's going on with him.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're going to be enemies.
Oh, you think so? Like a Montagues and Capulet situation? Oh, that's Shakespeare.
I wouldn't say that necessarily, as much as, like, at some point they're going to have some disagreement on how things will roll, especially as what's his name again? Kaneki's best friend?
Hide.
Especially as like Hide gets more entrenched in the work of the doves. I feel like Hide is eventually going to become a dove himself.
Oh, okay. In the anime, I think he does, but the anime at that point goes in a completely different direction.
I could definitely see a Kobe-Luffy relationship.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's like they're still friends, but they're on opposite sides.
Yeah, kind of. Like, they both have generally a similar goal. You know what I mean? But maybe slightly different methods or whatever. But
yeah, it's like
wait, I don't mean to interrupt, Kai, but I had to listen for the rest of my parents need my help with something.
Okay,
but I'll be listening.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so we cut to our first shot of Onteku after the time skip, where we see the new hire Hoito fangirling over Kaneki as they continue to hear what he's been up to. We then cut to Kaneki, Banjo, and Sugiyama as they meet with Gil, the current leader of the 6th Ward Ghouls, to discuss the whereabouts of their associate Shachi, who was supposedly a Cockley escapee during the Aogiri Tree raid. So this is when we first see Kaneki in this entire arc. That's nearly 6 chapters we have entirely dedicated to CCG investigation. What do you think holding off on showing Kaneki for this long does for the story?
I think it's just like a storytelling thing rather than like it being purposeful.
Yeah. I think it definitely builds up the mystery of what he's been up to in the past 6 months. and therefore our curiosity is also building, especially since we see the top investigators discussing what Tsukiyama's new feeding patterns has been all about, something that we ourselves also aren't sure of at this point. It makes us wonder what Kaneki's ultimate plan is. The reason that Kaneki is concerning himself with the whereabouts of this sixth ward ghoul is because Shachi has the last name Kamishiro, and that's providing more valuable information as to who Rize was and where she's been, as that was the last name that she claimed to have. Kaneki deduces that finding Shachi might uncover Rize's true identity. We get the flashback of Kaneki's massacre of the ghoul restaurant. The reason they're there in the first place is because they're looking for Madame A, who they think has information on the whereabouts of Dr. Kano. While there, Kaneki fights a pair of twins who are revealed to also be half-ghouls and also suspiciously have the same Kagune as him, revealing that Tatara and Yamuri were telling the truth about Rize. So the confirmation here that Dr. Kano has been using Rize to make more half-ghouls is a big one. What reason do you think could Dr. Kano possibly have to conduct human experimentation like this? Like, is there an underlying purpose he has for making them, or do you think he's just a sick fuck?
I can see a variety of reasons. Like, you know, this seems like a pretty... there's like a cheat code to power here, right? Mm-hmm. You found someone that can regenerate their Kohako. Yeah. So it's like, why not just farm her and make like a small militia of crazy strong one-eyed ghouls?
That's an interesting way of looking at it.
Do we actually know how long ghouls have been around for?
I think we talked about this last time, and no, we don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, because my thought is, like, what if ghouls were actually man-made? And
oh yeah,
well, there could be the thought that, okay, ghouls are man-made, at some point, and then he is reverse engineering this process, or alternatively, he thinks this is kind of like the next step in evolution of humankind.
Oh, is that like everyone becomes a ghoul?
Yeah, because ghouls can live off of cannibalizing each other.
Are you implying that Dr. Kano is about to initiate Third Impact?
Yes.
Oh shit.
That is what I am potentially implying.
Oh god. Everyone turns to liquid. Everyone turns into Orange Crush. Gil, having gotten pissed off by Kaneki, attacks Kaneki. Obviously, he gets his ass handed to him and lets it slip that Kaneki reminds him of someone that used to live in the 6th ward, obviously referring to Rize. Kaneki heads to the 14th ward alone to visit Itori. He gives her a list of known Cockley escapees in exchange for any information she has on Dr. Kano. She reveals that Dr. Kano used to be a medical examiner for the CCG before taking over his father's hospital. Suddenly, Nico comes out of the bathroom and explains to Kaneki that he doesn't care about what Aogiri Tree's up to, and that he was only part of the organization because he was in love with Yamari. To gain Kaneki's trust, he tells him anything he knew that Aogiri had planned, as well as the true identity of the One-Eyed King himself. So the mystery of the One-Eyed King, it's a very interesting one, and has a lot of information associated with it that seems contradictory on its surface. Like, he's the leader of Aogiri Tree, yet there exists no ghoul named the One-Eyed King, yet he has an identity. What do you all make of this? Could it be that there's more than one person that goes by the name of the One-Eyed King, like a Scream situation? Is the One-Eyed King even a ghoul? If he isn't, what does all that imply about Aogiri and the ghouls as a whole?
I mean, honestly, I think that there are probably actually a bunch of One-Eyed Ghouls out there. I forget, were the twins One-Eyed Ghouls too?
They were One-Eyed Ghouls. But what about the One-Eyed King specifically? The one who's known to be the leader of Aogiri Tree?
Did we get any frames of them? I'm sorry, I may have read ahead, and so I don't want to... What are we supposed to know by now?
Currently, we know that the One-Eyed King is the leader of Aogiri Tree. There exists no ghoul named the One-Eyed King, yet he has an identity, and every every shot we've seen of him so far has been like a skeleton with like a single eye coming out of the eye hole.
Okay. I think they're really enigmatic right now. Like, it's hard to tell because the Aogiri tree has so many odd characters that have different conflicting, sometimes goals.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of character could have brought this cast of people together.
Okay. Interesting. So before Kaneki leaves, Ituri informs him of a ghoul in a rabbit mask that's been killing doves. Now, the mask itself looks different, but could this be Toka? I'd say probably not. I think it might be Ayato.
It's her brother.
I was thinking that too. Is like it might. I think it's Ayato. Like it's still a mystery at this point, but I think we're leaning toward Ayato. Kaneki trains Banjo and helps him unleash his Kagune, which he still can't do, and we get a little bit of downtime. So Banjo kind of says it best here. At his core, the same gentle Kaneki still exists, but sometimes it's as if a switch has been flicked and the ruthless side of him rears its head. This in particular is pretty different from white-haired Kaneki's portrayal in the anime, in which he was pretty intense all the time. Like, I don't recall the anime showing us this gentle side of his, probably because he was always surrounded by the killers of Aogiri Tree. Kaneki and company visit the 20th ward. Kaneki wants to see if he can gain information on Dr. Kano's whereabouts. The nurse tells Kaneki that he's in Germany on a business trip. Meanwhile, Toka studies for entrance exams, telling her friends that she plans to go to Kami University, i.e. the same one that Kaneki went to, and she's reunited with Hinami. They talk for a while, and Yoriko comes rushing over and gives Toka a good luck charm that Kaneki had her deliver. Toka runs off to go look for Kaneki, but she can't find him. So Toka is totally into Kaneki at this point, right?
Bro, but lame move by Kaneki. Like, who just stands on top of a building and like, dates somebody like that?
It's like, come on, like, you know,
what are you doing?
It's like, you know, she wants to see you.
Romance between Kaneki, or the relationship between Kaneki and Toka at this point, I feel like feels like it randomly jumped a bunch without much development.
That's also true because she was always kind of cold to him, and then during the when Yamari and Aito come to kidnap Kaneki, she's suddenly all caring about him. Like, maybe it's like deep-seated feelings that finally came to the surface, but you're right, it does seem kind of quick.
Yeah, they don't give like any insights to like what made that change of mind, like with Toka, or any character development on that grounds either. So it's just like,
Yeah. Kaneki explains that he wants to keep Toka as far away from the ghoul world as possible. Banjo also explains that Dr. Kano did not appear on the flight lists for any flights to Germany in the past year, meaning that the nurse lied to them. She informs Dr. Kano that Kaneki came to see him and were shown the latest unsuccessful results in his experimentation, as well as our very first shot of Rize post-accident. Meanwhile, at the CCG, Hide deduces that the rabbit that killed Akira's father was likely killing in place of the ghoul girl that lost both of her parents, a fact that we know to be true, not that Hinami wanted that or anything. Shinohara shows up and tells the events of the steel beam accident that happened all those months ago. He makes specific mention of Kaneki and speculates that the girl who died was the binge eater, a fact that we also know to be true, except she's not dead. And then Hide drops the information that Kaneki is his best friend. So what do you think is going through Hide's mind now that he's gained more clarity on Kaneki's accident?
I think he's like realizing the tragedy of his friend's situation right now.
Yeah,
like,
you can kind of see it on his face, right? Because he kind of looks down, kind of looks a little sad about it.
Yeah, and it kind of explains the change in behavior. Like, it's all coming together in that moment, you know?
Yeah.
You think Hide suspects / knows?
That Kaneki's a ghoul?
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Probably. I'd say probably.
I think he at least knows something. He at least knows.
He knows something's
He was
off.
experimented on in some way.
Yeah.
Like
Kaneki and the crew prepare to intercept the nurse for questioning. Before they can reach her, however, a ghoul named Naki and his guards show up and capture her themselves. Kaneki tries to fight them for her, but Shachi, the Cockly escapee from the 6th Ward, shows up and opens a can of whoop-ass all over Kaneki. Before he can deliver the finishing blow, however, he gets a phone call telling him that Kaneki is not to be killed, so they just leave. Later on, Kaneki is able to find Madame A, despite the half-ghoul sisters causing trouble for him to get to her at first. Meanwhile, Shinohara and Juzo show up at Onteku and prod Toka for information she has on Kaneki. Toka becomes nervous, and Mr. Yoshimura steps in and tells them a lie to throw them off of Kaneki's trail, though Shinohara suspects that they were in fact lies.
Alright, I gotta get going to pick up my wife, so...
Sounds good. Have a good
this
night.
Is fun.
Yeah.
Yep, you too.
We'll see you next time.
Yep.
Alright, just you and me, Nick.
Alright, I'm ready.
We're almost done here. Between the CCG and Aogiri Tree, it's currently a race to see who can reach Dr. Kano first. Almond toils with an internal struggle, wondering about the humanity of treating a half-ghoul as the result of Dr. Kano's experiments the same way as a full ghoul, but ultimately decides that they should be treated the same. Banjo and Tsukiyama tell Gil of the whereabouts of Shachi, and Kaneki continues to train. This arc ends on a kind of a bit of a calm before the storm vibe. So Nick, what do you think of these arcs? It was only 2 arcs because the Aogiri Tree arc was massive.
Yeah. I liked them. I liked them a lot.
You think the story's getting better?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it where we were at before, though.
Because now we're like,
it's picking up. Like,
yeah,
there's more threads moving at once.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And a lot of them are leading in similar directions. So, yeah, I can feel the tension building in the background. But there's still so many unknowns too. Like, we have not spent a lot of time with Kaneki.
No.
Post like transformation.
Yeah.
So I'm still curious about him. I don't know what tendencies. It's been hinted at that people have seen his like the brutality of his new side and like the cruelty almost.
And in this next batch of chapters, we're gonna get quite menacing version of Kaneki show through. But it's gonna be awesome.
I'm just excited to see what happens. And I thought the scene like revealing Rize was still alive was super brutal too.
Yeah.
Like, she's missing all of her fucking limbs, bro.
Yeah.
Like this guy's crazy. This doctor's crazy.
Yeah,
too.
Dr. Kano is insane.
He has like an absurd amount of resources too, because his lab looked very well funded. You know what I mean? Like he had like a giant room. A lot of advanced technology. It was not like a rinky-dink lab. This was not the lab of deranged madman.
Like this was the meth lab underneath the laundromat in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, no, it's not that. This looks like it's like a government-funded, like big. This looks like the League of Villains. Like,
the League of Villains. You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go.
Like, it's like fucking crazy. It's very pristine. Yeah, I don't know.
So, assuming this is government funded, what do you think that implies?
That it's always right. It's always about making weapons, right?
Yeah.
So this is probably like some kind of anti-ghoul stuff.
Yeah.
And who knows, man? Who knows? Like, we still don't know. Like, what is the deal with half human or like human? What are they called? Human-made ghouls or ghouls from humans? There's like a term.
Artificial ghouls. Maybe
artificial ghouls. We don't know like what the benefit is of them. Like do they incorporate other ghouls better when they cannibalize them? Like, is there something weird about them that makes them especially proficient at fighting other ghouls?
Well,
We don't know.
Ittori did say in the last batch of chapters that it's rumored that they're stronger.
We don't know why. Like, why is that the case?
It's true. Like, and maybe because they have versions of, or like aspects of both humans and ghouls, but when it comes to combat, humans aren't really useful except with weapons.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm wondering if there's like some weird interaction that happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That like, I don't know. It's really interesting, but we're seeing like this weird, to what to me looks like a weapons race.
Yeah, basically.
And fucking one-eyed ghouls.
It's like everyone's trying to find Kano. Kano's making more one-eyed ghouls.
Yeah, and why is Rize so special? Like, is it really just the healing factor?
It could be the healing factor.
Hard for me to believe.
I think it's also that for some reason Rize's Kagune is much more powerful than other ghouls. For some reason, maybe because she eats so much. Maybe,
yeah. That's why it's like she's like a perfect cheat code. If you want to like
perfect cheat code.
You know what I mean? Like she's like an exploit, like for infinite power glitch. If you were inclined to do so.
So let's talk characters. How have all the characters that we saw in the previous batch of chapters, like, how have they changed since we last saw them? Like, obviously we saw how Kaneki's changed. We saw that Nishiki is now more chill. We saw that Tsukiyama hasn't really changed much.
Bro's the same. Bro is just as weird and lost. And it's really weird how they're like, Nico and Tsushiyama both have that thing where they're like, there was a quote that Nico had, like, either you like live to change the world or something, or you live to admire the person who changes the world. There was like some kind of quote like that.
Interesting.
And I get that vibe from Tsushiyama too. Like he lives for a muse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
like
he's
they're
like
both
constantly muse hopping.
Like they're both pretty artsy.
Yeah, that's like a interesting commonality.
And then how do you think these characters are going to change in the next batch of chapters? Because the next batch of chapters is going to wrap up the original Tokyo Ghoul series before we head into the light novels in Rize.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we're close.
So, whatever...
Are we halfway through?
We're 2/3 of the way through.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, whatever has been set up has to be wrapped up or in some way in the next batch of chapters.
Cool.
So it's like, what do you think is going to happen to all these characters? Like, how do you think they might change in the next batch?
I'm excited to see what happens with Ayato.
Yeah.
Seems like he can either like change in a positive way or go super self-destruction mode and just try to take everybody out with him.
True. We
might. He still has to reconcile his relationship with humans and ghouls and like what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, it's true.
And his hatred for his sister. So.
And then we might also see Kaneki grow more insane as well. Like,
yeah, I think he's gonna get unstable, bro. Like, this guy looks like he cannot hold. I think it's gonna get increasingly hard for him to hold the two realities together.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, I think Banjo is probably gonna be a rock for Kaneki, if I had to guess.
I think so. Do you think we're gonna see Banjo get his or use his Kagune?
So. Oh, his Kagune? I don't know. It might be, it's either gonna be that or he's gonna like really shine as like an integrity character.
Yeah, it's like shine in a way that it's like in a way that he doesn't need a Kagune to be important, which he already kind of is like that, but it's like
I hate to bring up Kobe again, but like Kobe at
it's okay, we like One Piece around here.
Yeah, we do. But was it the giant war where Ace dies? I forget. Spoiler alert. That's your fault if you don't know. Yeah,
Marineford. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Kobe's moment in Marineford, where like he couldn't do anything, but he still stood up for his principles, and it made a difference, and Shanks acknowledged it. You know what I mean? I think he might have a moment like that, and that would be cool to see and very satisfying for his character.
Yeah,
you know?
like even though we know that Buggy was the real hero of that war, it's really nice to see that Kobe got some time too.
Yeah, yeah. Almost made me forget the shows about Luffy seeing Buggy on the screen. Yeah.
So, knowing that this next batch of chapters is going to be the last in the original series, what events do you think are going to take place? Like, how do you think it's going to wrap up?
Well, it's gotta be some kind of Mexican standoff with Kano, right? We're all gonna meet up. There's not an actual Mexican standoff, but at least like a, everybody coincidentally uncovering his location,
right,
at the same time.
At the same time, and maybe they meet up.
That's a classic trope. Yes.
Oh yeah,
classic trope.
And like
for big moments.
All hell breaks loose in the facility that he's been hiding out in.
Yeah. Or maybe it'd be really cool.
What's that?
If part of Kaneki's like mental degradation, somehow he did form a link with Rize, and like through her pseudo torturing by Kano, he was like drawn to go help her in like a weird way. That would be a crazy.
That would be the like kind of sort of like a hive mind thing.
Yeah, kinda being
That would be interesting to see.
I think there's a lot of cool ways this is going to resolve. One might take Kano. It's all about Kano. He holds the secret to everything right now. So somehow all roads lead to Rome here. Somehow we're going to get to him. Either
we have to.
is going to kidnap him. Who knows, man?
Do you think Kaneki's going to beat Shachi?
Seeing how much, dude, no person should sweat the amount he was sweating while working out. Like, dude,
it's true. There were like drops all over his face.
Square inch was so hot,
so detailed.
Yeah, dude. So
it's like he's trying really hard.
Yeah, if he's really shadow fighting that intensely. Maybe that is some anime shit.
Yeah. Also, because he's trying so hard to become stronger, is his big break going to be in a moment where he realizes that it's going to be nearly impossible to get stronger?
Who Kaneki?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, because I feel like he's been having some tremendous growth lately. I wonder if it's going to plateau. What kind of frustration might come with that? I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the end of these chapters.
Sweet.
Good shit.
All right,
dude, guys, name one thing you're really excited about for next week.
Next week? How much buffet, bro?
Next week.
Okay, that's a good one.
You mean
golf?
Okay, that's good.
Seeing the boys.
Going to that Amish buffet. That's what.
Yeah, bro.
I'm excited to do.
You guys, man, come on.
You're excited to do next week.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Why would you ruin my mood like that?
I'm sorry.
oh my god, I'm still upset about that shit. Anyways, I'm about to go to the gym, bro.
Starts in November, right? So it's next week.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I'm gonna wrap up with my parents. After that, I'm probably gonna go hit the gym.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
Yeah, they needed my help with fucking technology shit. They don't know shit about technology, man.
Yo, isn't it ridiculous they don't even want to learn, though?
Isn't
that the most ridiculous part of it? Like,
when I told you I had to go help my parents, my grandpa came up and he's like, why is my Wi-Fi not working on my iPad? I'm like, bro, at this time.
Dude, not only that, I told my mom, I was like, listen, you're gonna ask me, and I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT.
For real.
Why are you using me as a proxy? Just get the app and
just ask ChatGPT already.
Why am I the go-between between us and AI?
Anyways, boys, I'm gonna go hit the gym now.
All right, man. All right. Have a good night.
See you guys tomorrow, dude.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Peace,
all right.